Coin Boys, your average everyday crypto bros. That's right, it's Andy, aka producer, by the way, or producer BTW on Twitter. Sitting right next to me, my co-host, Daniel Gutierrez.
What's up, everybody? At DGutierrez84 on Twitter.
And then sitting here is our correspondent friend, Crypto Sanity.
What's up, guys?
Friend and correspondent.
And correspondent, that's right.
I like to call you a friend because you are a friend, but you're one of our only correspondents on the show, so it only made sense to have you here.
Yes.
For those of you who have not heard of us, which is, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's
5.
a few of you guys. What's up, guys? We are, once again, the Coin Boys. We do a podcast every Tuesday. We release it, and we do interviews with people, CEOs, CTOs. We just interviewed somebody from who's a head of government relations for a stablecoin. We just try to figure out answers to questions that we all have because we are not from technology. We are not from anything else other than we're from entertainment.
Yep.
And sanity can kill people. So
No,
that's how this works.
that's not true. But
we don't talk about that.
No, it's very true. He's not a chef.
I'm not.
That's
one
not why he has
important
knives.
thing about what we do is we don't talk price.
And that's
it's
the
about
main thing.
development,
True.
growth in the space. So that doesn't bother us. Yes, the market matters to us, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not the focus of our podcast because we want to give you, the audience, a chance to learn about projects. Is this project we're talking to actually going to be important? We ask the right question.
Yeah, we not everything's going to make it. Not everything you see out here is going to make it, unfortunately. But something from that project may move forward. Something from that project may go on and take another form in another project. It's kind of cool for us to kind of take a look at and see what we can focus on, how we can improve. We're all here in this space for a reason. And in fact, if any of you have questions, and because we want to figure out questions and we want to figure out answers as well with you guys, let us know so we can, if we know some answers, which there's a high possibility. At first, we were really out of touch with crypto. That's why we started the podcast, so we can figure out what's going on, what's happening in the space instead of blind investment. But now it's pretty cool.
I always say we were the average everyday crypto bros, but now we're the more informative average.
The
everyday?
above average.
Above
above
everyday
average?
crypto bros.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we've been lucky enough for about a year and a
We passed that Forrest Gump IQ point.
But it's been
Now we're
about a
here
year
now.
and a half, and we've had a lot of people on the show. So we have a better perspective.
Yes, we've had some pretty interesting people. Go ahead and listen to us on SoundCloud. You can go back all the way to the beginning. Don't go that far back; it's awful. But halfway.
That's not true.
About
Yeah, they
halfway.
covered XRP. It was terrible.
It was.
But
oh,
okay, so we're doing our live show here with you guys, so thanks for joining us here at CIS. I want to thank Alon, who set us up and got us on here as well.
He's the man.
Shout out to Alon with CIS. But let's start, Daniel. What are we talking about to these fine people?
So we do something called Block News on the show, where we just talk about news pieces in the crypto space as well as technology space. And I kind of wanted to focus on technology, not necessarily blockchain technology right now, but just because it's something that blockchain could help, could fix.
Oh, it'll work into blockchain. Absolutely.
No, so anyways, we'll figure it out.
What's the big-
first story up is there is IBM has AI technology right now that can, to a 95% accuracy, figure out if you're about to quit your job.
How the hell does that work?
Do not analyze
how
me.
does that even? How do you even do that?
It's just, basically, so here's what they're doing. They took all of those, and so this is actually very important for decentralization, for KYC, because what they're doing is they're going to all of those job application sites where you put up your information, your personal history, and they're running the AI bot all over your stuff. And through what you give them, they can figure out with 95% accuracy if you're about to quit your job, which benefits companies because they want to get the people.
That's kind of messed up.
It is.
That's
Very messed up. But they want to get those people who are about to quit because they figure that's the best time, prime time for them to.
What are the signs that?
Yeah, what kind of psychological analysis?
How do
are
they
you putting
know
this
that
through?
I'm
I wonder.
They drop a
95%?
couple F-bombs on the resume on their last project.
Give
I
us
don't know.
the science, Daniel.
I have no clue. I just thought it was very interesting because this is something that you should really have more control over because I'm guaranteeing you as somebody who is applying for a job on any of those sites, on Monster, on Indeed, on any of that, I'm guaranteeing you did not know they were doing that to your resume.
Well, this kind of goes into the side thing where it's like you put your information online, right? And if anybody thinks you put your information anywhere, that it's going to actually stay private, you're fooling yourselves. If you put anything online, you have to understand that it's going to be seen. And they just recently had the thing with the genetics testing people were doing.
Yes.
That now they're collaborating with the FBI without anybody's permission, giving the FBI your data just because they said it's in the
Put
spirit of
on your
safety.
tinfoil hats.
So you put on your resume whatever you want, and you feel free, and that's going to go out to anybody, and they're going to analyze you to see if you're going to quit. to be non-hireable possible.
I'm confused. It's an algorithm? Or?
It's an algorithm
gotta be.
that just scrapes your resume, whatever. And which, by the way, it sucks already to begin with, because whenever you go out to Indeed, you fill out everything, and then they say, please upload your resume. Or the worst, the opposite. They upload your resume, and then they have you put everything on your resume on there anyways, because they're trying to get that data. They're trying to get that information because they really want to know who to hire.
And this is through IBM.
This is IBM's AI.
IBM's AI.
Yeah.
This isn't Watson.
The Watson is UCLA's. That's the doctor one. That's the one that diagnoses people.
You could stand in a mirror and it tells
and
you
Watson will diagnose you.
Oh my
if
God.
you have skin disease or something. Okay.
Something. So wait, so how
That's
does
scary,
this...
by the
Okay,
way.
so let's loop this around. How does the AI... How do you think AI is going to affect us in the crypto space and blockchain and all together?
I mean, it started off with, like, the earliest form of AI that I remember interacting with mostly was Pandora, where I would just give them a thumbs up.
Yes, the Music Genome
I
Project.
like
Yes.
that thing. And it's kind of just ballooned. Facebook has all your data. This is something we've talked about on the podcast a lot.
And they're horrible with it.
We're just giving it away. We need to figure out a way to really take back our control. Take back what we need to keep, and really know who's doing what with our data. It's absolutely important.
Well, what really scares me, and I don't know if this is true, there's a thing about you're talking to someone by a computer about, say, a new car you're buying. Then later, you were talking about Nissan, and on your computer, these Nissan ads pop up.
100%.
That always scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Because is that really happening? Are they really
They
aggregating?
swear they're not doing
Yeah.
it, but I have had it happen with me.
I did a test, and you guys can do this
How
test
do you
at
do
home.
this test?
You guys can do this test at home. Have your phone on you. Most of you are on Facebook. It's just have the Facebook app on there. Talk about something you have never talked about in your life.
If you don't have a cat, talk about cat
Talk
litter.
about cats.
Talk about cat toys.
talk
and just
about-
watch
I'm trying to
your
think of something I
targeted
wouldn't
marketing.
talk about.
Yeah,
but-
think of something that you would never, ever talk about in your
Okay.
life. Most likely a product. This will be easier if you discuss a product. And I guarantee you within a few days, your microphone is already listening to you.
Or
That
your
app
Alexa
is listening to
or your
you,
Google Home
and
or-
you'll see the advertisement within a day
Yeah.
or two. It's scary. It's interesting. Obviously, companies really want to know who to advertise to. They want to really. There's so much content out there.
And
They
it's
have to.
non-personal. They say it's non-personal data because they're not connecting it to Daniel Gutierrez,
Yeah.
but they know your IP address, your device,
Yeah.
this general area. Target him with cat toys.
Yeah, there was a guy on Reddit who did a test, and he was able to target his roommate specifically, and he would run ads specifically to his roommate. He was able to
Scaring me.
and he was just scaring him with all the things that he was talking about. And he was just scaring him with all the specific advertisements that they were talking about. I think they were talking about spam, for like actual spam, canned spam,
Right.
for a little bit, and then suddenly he got a lot of spam ads. And it was freaking him out. It freaks me out that they know so much about me.
So let's bring back what Aaron said. So how does crypto control AI if AI is something we can't control really? How do we do that? How do we implement blockchain technology with AI? I know that some companies and projects are doing it, but personally, I don't know too much about that.
You're going to see it for investing bots, something that's going to read all the markets, get all the technical analysis, the fundamental analysis, all of the algorithms that people can build, and it will build trading bots. The only thing is once everybody has access to that, it kind of blows it out of the water because everybody can't trade the same thing because it's, somebody has to buy for you to sell.
Right.
So, I mean, you could do this for trading bots. They could do it for, again, advertising. If they're looking for whatever token to advertise to whom and for what, who's gullible, who can buy this. A lot of things are there. The thing that freaks me out is when they get the AI mixed with the quantum computing, because then basically all of our security, every password you guys have with a quantum computer is basically garbage.
Yes.
So,
But that doesn't exist yet, or we don't know of its existence yet. Quantum computers.
correct.
Okay.
But that's been the biggest push ever. And AI right now is just an algorithm. It's not actually intelligent. It's literally just a smart program. So it's not a self-learning, self-educating thing necessarily
Right.
that is sentient. When we think of AI, I think of iRobot. But AI is just a term for the developing technology. And then when quantum, that could literally be a sentient.
And it's not that AI is bad. It's not that AI is a bad thing
Kind
to
of is.
have happen, because we even we talked to a project at another convention once that they were trying to run an AI program to
Was that the car with the?
your electricity.
Yes.
They're finding your electricity usage. They're trying to see.
Oh, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, they were just trying to see when do people use electricity the most?
Mm-hmm.
When can we pull back? Where can we save? Where do we need to push? Just to kind of make things more efficient, which is great. You
Mm-hmm.
want it for a better ecosystem. You want to have a better ecosystem out there. You don't want to just constantly pump gases out there.
No.
So yeah, AI is necessary, I feel, but we need to control what we're giving the AI. We need to control what they know about us, what we're allowing them to know about us.
Well, we're screwed. Everybody in this room is screwed.
But
Our
save your
kids,
children.
though, our
Save
kids
your
have
children.
a chance. So just
Do
educate
they?
them.
Do they have a chance?
I
I
think
mean,
so.
Well, some of the millennials now, and even the youngers and the Zoomers and the millennials, they already have a smarter approach with how they're doing this. They already know they need 4 email addresses: one for personal stuff, one for banking, one for junk mail, and then one for other random stuff. I had one AOL account that was linked to so many things since I was 14 years old. I'm screwed. We were talking about spam calls today. I get 900 spam calls a day. It's like my information is blown.
I still have my original Hotmail email from God knows when.
That's sexy.
I jumped on there.
Wow.
Yes.
Why?
I just have it still. I mean, I opened it. I didn't deactivate it. It's still there. You go on Outlook, I could still get into it. But I have like 30,000 junk mails in there, maybe more, just over the constant. I mean, that's like, I don't even know how old that email is, but it's pretty
It was
fun.
from signing up for those
Pretty old.
free AOL trials back in the day. Getting the free discs.
I used to play Frisbee with the discs.
I had a
I
good
love
collection
those
of all of the
But I
discs.
guess our number one problem is we're in this era of controlling privacy, but AI seems to be hard to. How do you? That seems like something hard to control.
And that's something that has to be a conversation that we have as a community and we have with our governments and so on and so forth, because it's something that we need to figure out now rather than later. We don't want to push off this problem any further than it already is.
And it's a new conversation, right? I mean, you asked someone 5 years ago, is your information private? And they're like, I don't know. Like now we have BAT, Basic Attention Token, and the Brave browser. That's one of the easiest things to get people who don't even know about crypto to use. Say they're not going to advertise you. They're not going to sell your data. They're going to block pop-up ads. Like all those things are beneficial to a common person, aside from getting rewarded with a token or anything, or being able to click on a video and you get rewarded for your attention. People understand attention and privacy now, but it's still a newer conversation just in general.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's start it now.
Yes,
But
right
it's an
now,
important
right here.
conversation.
And unfortunately, we don't have the expertise in any AI to give you any more information on that one. But moving on to another thing that I found absolutely interesting, has nothing to do with crypto, but I feel this is another
We like
situation
technology,
where
we like games, we like crypto.
Crypto will help with this thing. There were 2 kids in New Jersey, 14 years old, in New Jersey, that just got arrested, not for selling pot, not for anything really bad. They blocked, and I congrat them. They jammed their school's Wi-Fi, so they wouldn't get tested. So they don't get any tests happening to them. I was shocked. They're 14 years old. 2 kids, 14 years old, jammed the entire school's Wi-Fi, and they did it on command, too. They did it when anybody else in the school wanted to pay them so they can get out of taking any tests.
Wow.
Give those kids a scholarship.
I was amazed. But imagine these 2 kids doing that to a school's Wi-Fi.
Do you know how they did it? Did they, I don't know, DDoS the school
They
server?
probably
or something?
DOSed it or something.
Yeah.
But if
Wow.
if these 2 14-year-old kids can do this to a school Wi-Fi, what's to stop them from doing it to Wells Fargo? What's to stop them from doing it to Experian? What's to stop them from doing it to Target? You do that right there, but to be honest, it's actually not that difficult because I got a buddy who also did it with a bigger thing as a test. They paid him to do it, but he did it rather easily. And
Yeah.
kids today have
Well-
so much knowledge in technology and stuff.
A good example is gaming. 2 years ago during Christmas, a bunch of
The
teenagers
Lizard Squad.
they DDoSed the PlayStation Network, the Xbox Network. It was Christmas time. People are off, and no one could get on their games. Online.
Nobody could play their Christmas games
Again,
on
an
Xbox or
example
PlayStation.
of
Assholes.
not saying these kids were in college, not saying they might have been teenagers, but it's amazing what kids have access to do this kind of thing. So that in itself is scary. So I don't know if they could block a school and they could DDoS PSN, which has millions of accounts and names. How does crypto protect us?
I know of the Mesh Network. Does anybody else know about Mesh Networking?
Anyone know about Mesh Network?
There you go.
All right.
We
So
got a
for
few.
those of you who are
Stash
unfamiliar with mesh networking, it's something that I believe Skycoin and a few other projects are working on, and that is instead of using an ISP, instead of using your router to gain access to the internet, you can actually use a connected line of electronic devices from your phone to your router itself to your television to anything, and that becomes your network. Should one of those things go down, it'll just go around it and get another connection. So if there's an attack at all, it just attacks that one spot. You're still good, you're still decentralized, and you can still get your information. And this is a great idea just in general because how many of you are annoyed with Spectrum?
Anyone annoyed with Spectrum or
Is
your
anyone
cable
annoyed with
provider?
Spectrum? Sit down if you're annoyed with Spectrum.
I pay for fast Wi-Fi, and that shit is slow.
Exactly.
It is so slow. They say 150,
So bad.
and I'm like, I get like 50.
I test it all the time. It is such garbage.
Yeah. So
They blame it on my router all the time.
Yeah, they blame it on. Oh, it must be your old technology. You gave it to me. So,
Yes, sir.
so this is the way to get around this: using blockchain technology, getting those private keys, keeping your information private, and being a part of a network. But something like that takes a big agreement on everybody around the world to say, okay, I'll be a part of this. Okay, and right now it's not very secure, so don't assume that you can do it tomorrow. But
Again, new concepts, new technology.
it's a new concept,
right?
new technology. It's what we need to push for. It's what we need to go after. Would you trust yourself in a worldwide connected
To a
network?
degree, I mean, I'd have to dig deep and go down the rabbit hole to learn myself. It's like I'm not just going to, I guess, connect all of my information out there until I know that it's been tested and, repeat tested by ethical hackers and
Yeah,
everything.
you have to make sure that you get tested every time you go on the
I want
public
to hear
network.
the tech nerds. I want to hear the ethical hackers. I want to hear all these people really evaluate it. And even when they're going to say it's secure, it happens with technology. There's going to be a fault down the way. There's going to be like, oh my God, update your TV because someone could go a 0-day on your Samsung or something and find their way to your computer.
It's a lot, and it's a big agreement that you have to make. But that's what this technology is about. This technology is about getting all of us together to work together globally to fix the problems that are happening globally. What will this happen? I don't know. I'm crossing fingers.
Yeah.
But
Okay. We'll see.
we'll see what happens.
But is it hard to set up a mesh network?
It's not. In fact, Google Home. If you go to Google Home right now, that is a mesh network.
Got it.
And it connects to your your personal internet. So it's a mesh network within your own home, and it's a pretty wide range. It works pretty well. I highly recommend it. But again, it's pretty hackable, pretty easily hackable.
Although I would trust Google as one of the ones to try
Would
to.
you? Would you though?
Well, to at least self-test their own stuff before releasing it.
Sure.
Samsung wants to be first.
Yes.
They don't always want to be right. Apple wants to be right, generally. They want to get stuff out and they want to have it done right before they release it. Samsung wants to go first, which is why they had exploding phones. We all remember that one. That was fantastic.
I was worried every night. I slept next to my phone.
In Shazam, they
Ready to
made fun
explode.
of that.
I had
It's
hair
like
before my
charging their
Samsung
phones
phone.
and then one phone explodes.
Oh. See? Spoiler alert, by the way.
I'm sorry.
It's a joke.
Spoilers.
Now, one of the things that we do on the podcast is we are pretty gaming-centric. We feel that the first people to really understand and who will probably use the blockchain technology faster and better than others is going to be gamers.
Yes.
Yeah, well, think about it. I mean, they've been using a digital currency for over 10 years at least.
Maybe more.
2 decades, yeah. EverQuest back in the day, there was Ultima Online. These people were selling in-game gold for real cash. By doing so, they were breaking their end-user license agreement and getting kicked off the game. So that's a two-prong issue right there. Number one is that they found value and other people found value. They're trying to do an exchange of value. And number two, you don't have ownership for all this time and effort that you had put into a game.
Yeah, that's your skin that you bought is not really your skin. Your
So-
helmet you bought is not really your helmet. The card you bought is not really yours.
But I think one of the most important parts is that there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that we've had on the show, like Wax and Engine Coin, who have working utilities and betas that are actually working and in the process of actually happening. So when you bring up the gaming as a portal to make adoption happen, it's true because a lot of gamers that don't know about crypto and you tell them right away, they get it because of what Sanity says, because a lot of them have been trading.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of these developers are actually working on great utilities and not just hopes and dreams, like a lot of other projects out there that don't have any proof of
It's a
utility.
lot of lofty projects. I've been trying to dig deep. But you're right. Engine and Wax are specifically creating blockchain solutions for existing game developers, which is the biggest part. People that are making blockchain-based games are the majority, like a money grab right now. I saw there's one ship game that they were doing an auction. The game is pre-alpha. It's a 0.5. It's not even a beta. It's not even a full 1.0 alpha. And somebody bought a ship for $11,000 worth of Ethereum.
Wow.
God damn it, that upsets me.
I wish I had that chip.
Jesus.
But
again, that's now they own that ship, and if this game takes off, they can sell it for $20,000. Everybody wants to be in a crypto kitty, but I think developing blockchain solutions for existing technology and developers that's the future. I think right now we're seeing the early Facebook-type games where it's click progress, you run out of energy,
Well,
you pay crypto to replenish energy.
I want to be clear, you cannot put a AAA game on the blockchain. That will absolutely not
destroy
work.
the blockchain.
So when we say blockchain and gaming, what people have to realize is that we don't mean like this game is on the blockchain. It's almost impossible to put Assassin's Creed on the blockchain. Impossible. But the accessories, the architecture around it, meaning trade items, skins, cosmetics, that is realistic.
Earned assets are yours.
Now, I'm not saying that a blockchain game in the future might not be possible, like full-on big game. Our technology's grown, but right now that's not. So people got to try to explain to people that most of the utilities are for trading in-game items, cosmetics, stuff like that.
That's the majority of the use.
And the other thing
Yes.
that I've noticed, we just talked to somebody yesterday, and I feel like blockchain technology is absolutely making games better. Actually, it gives you a lot of control. We just talked to somebody from Engine yesterday, and they're going to be doing
Andy Anderson, if he's here. Andy.
I don't think he's here.
He said he was.
Andy!
He's
He can't
lying.
hear us.
But there's a game, and I think it's a Cat Mechs
Cat mechs, yeah. Cats in mechs, like
in
big
mech
mechs.
robot suits.
Oh,
Yes.
Mechs.
And
I was thinking MEX.
Yeah,
Like
I thought
BitMEX, but with cats?
I told them I thought it was
100x
Mexican
leverage?
cats.
Okay, Mexican
But
cats.
it was,
No,
but-
they're not Mexican cats.
so they're cats
Cat
and robot
mechs.
suits. But you can get to a point where you can actually become the leader of a guild, and you can give people certain. I'm not a gamer, so what am I giving? Tasks.
I'm a gamer. What do you need
Tasks.
to say?
Quest tasks.
Quest.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Tasks.
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 Call it a task.
Somebody who only works.
Okay, got it.
It's a task, right? I have to do this. But yeah, you can give somebody tasks, you can give and it makes the game even better. And you can still earn money on your own, and you're putting in time and effort into this. I mean, we're trying to make crypto go to Ready Player One as soon as we possibly can. And crypto, I believe, can
that's-
possibly give us that.
And
Well,
that's going to create these in-game economies to be like real financial.
Institutions.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you've got all these games that have built these ecosystems. Now when you add actual tradable assets and finances there that people can own and utilize, it's going to create.
Now, one of the things I love
Ecosystems.
is Engine wants to be able to say, Game A can take the sword from Game A and bring that sword into Game B. A totally different game, but maybe it has the same genre. Maybe it's an RPG, but they
I love
want to
that concept.
literally figure out a way for the developers and the blockchain accessories, whether it's a cosmetic, to switch over into other games, which I think is really, really interesting.
That's what I'm excited for. The idea, I've said this on the podcast, the idea of taking the Mario flower that turns you into the flaming Mario. Oh, that's. So anyways, that
not
turns you into
insensitive.
the Mario that can shoot out fireballs.
Man, you got to work on
And-
your Mario background.
I'm close to Hollywood. And it turns you into the Mario that can spit out fireballs. You could take that into Street Fighter 2 and change Blanca up. I don't know. The idea of being able to go around and mix your game and change the whole atmosphere is absolutely amazing to me. And I
Yeah.
feel it's already a giant industry. How much money is it making?
They've already said gaming's $100 billion industry, double the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So do
Yeah.
the math. And the reason why a lot of the cryptocurrency-centric coins are popular and doing well is because, guess what? They actually have stuff they're working on. And it's not just about their blockchain stuff. They're very much in the space. You know, there's Gamescom in Germany. There's E3 coming up, which we're going to be attending. There's a lot of excellent, exciting things in the crypto gaming space that's moving faster than a lot of other projects.
Yeah, I mean, as much as CIS is awesome, I feel like in the future, this is just going to be, every industry is just going to have blockchain attached to it somehow. Maybe not every
You were
single
talking to
industry.
me about this underlining
Yeah.
technology.
Well, that's when it's going to take off. When people use the internet, do they understand how the internet works? Absolutely not. So people are going to be utilizing blockchain and not even realizing how it works or even that they're even using it. I mean, they've got the Finny is the blockchain-based phone, right? People could use that. A normie, I know you hate the term, could use it, and they don't understand that it's using blockchain technology, but the fact that it's functioning well is all they care about. So that being an underlying factor is ideal just for adoption.
And I'm excited for gaming, this and the technology. If it succeeds in gaming, which I absolutely believe it will, I feel that that's going to be the test ground. So if you're looking for people to test out new technology, they should be testing it on games probably first.
Yeah.
Because you can do it virtually in the game. You could do it in physically with the players playing the game, and then that technology can transfer over to other companies with proof that it works solidly.
Now, I understand the fears that are out there because if you create a game, a US-based company, you create a game and you make this in-game asset and you tokenize it and you release it without registering it with the government, you are now owning a unregistered security. because you're basically telling people, oh, this is a usable token. Like, you have to be so careful with